I first started mountain walking in the early 80s, and this was a transition period for the design of mainstream boots for mountain walking. My first couple of pair of boots had soles not dissimilar from these. They were Vibram lug units. Pretty well every boot, certainly quality boots, had a sole like this. The lugs probably came out to the edge, similar to the current Vibram V100, but that was it for the soles, and there was not much choice really. The next thing was ignore the overall issues with toe caps and whatever, but it was a single piece of leather except the heel, and the heel was something like this all the way down. But then, as I say, it was a transition period, and what we moved to then, and this is a woman's boot from the late 1980s, was something more like this. At the time, this was much more stylish than the traditional models, but you'll notice that the sole was one of the major changes. Adhesives were getting better. We didn't need the welted or stitched down construction that we had on the old boots. The old boots are very heavy, they were difficult to break in. I know from bitter experience that I lost several toenails through these, countless blisters, whereas this cemented construction rather than stitched allowed a very secure fitting of the sole, probably more waterproof than the stitching, and this is a sole that incorporates a sort of toe bumper ran. These are not heavy GT boots at all, and some of the rans ran the length of the boot, and it really did make a game changer, because these boots were a lot lighter, they were more flexible. Probably then in the 80s not comfortable straight out of the box to go and climb a mountain, but certainly not very bad, not bad at all. With this is a cheap boot, and this is the Achilles heel of the cheap boots. They were not one piece. This one has this ugly seam in it. The stitches are, in this case, an area for failure. This one hasn't failed, but the leather can start to come apart seam to panel to panel, and also the stitches are giving opportunity for water ingress. Why do I mention all that? Well, in the thumbnail to this video I show my friend's boots, and that has failed on the Renegade, which, as you can see, is full of panels. This is definitely not a one-piece leather boot. My friend Howard is an agronomist. He's out in the fields every day. He's walking through organic matter, a polite term for something else, synthetic fertilizers, deep mud, water, and even with that failure, his feet have never been wet in these boots. They're comfortable all day, every day, and he's wearing them all day, every day. What's not to like? For me, the design of this is a bit fussy, but I can see that some people think that it's very stylish. We've got these styling details here, but I've had these before. That's why I've gone for them again, and they are comfortable out of the box. As you can see, these are new. Would I go and do a 10-mile hike up a mountain straight out of the box? Absolutely. In these, it's not going to cause a problem. So what have we got? LOWA, and you'll find that Rose Anvil, Western K, calls it LOWA. I can understand that. I thought Western was going to be very, very critical of this boot. He's very loyally and patriotically American and American made. These are very much not. He very much likes traditional construction, more of this type of thing. He very much likes natural materials, and this is full of synthetic materials. But he recognises that these boots are for a purpose. So what have we got? We've got a nubuck leather in multiple panels stitched together in a way that gives a styling. The nubuck leather means that, unlike full grain, and incidentally going back to the boots of the 80s, they were invariably full grain. There were a few, and I had them, with the leather reversed, so that the epidermis, which is this is the most water resistant part of the leather, is actually on the inside. And what we're looking at on the inside is actually reversed to the outside, meaning that you can scuff it and not have any problems. With this, it's nubuck, so it's been sanded down. It will take abrasion better than a full grain, and you can sort of get it back to normal with some conditioner or wax. This is Gore-Tex lined, so as I was saying with Howard, he's never had his feet wet. And then there's a sole unit. This is a very good sole unit. It's a Vibram. It's specific to this boot. The lug pattern, very, very different, of course, from that traditional lug. These pick up mud as soon as you walk in it, and stones. These will pick up stones, but it's fairly mud shedding, so I like that. Extremely comfortable, as I say, out of the box. The lacing system's very good. These laces will grip onto the lace, the lace hooks, I should say, so you get a secure lacing all day long. Overall, these are superb boots. I really like them. They are for a purpose. They're not for high alpine use. You could use them for trail walking, long distance multi-day trail walking, and I would be very much happy to climb Munros. Munros in Scotland are tough rocky mountains, maybe not the Cooling of Skye, which is all rock once you get up there, but for most things in Britain and sort of lower alpine peaks, I'd be very, very happy to use these boots. If you've not looked at my heritage boot videos before, please do so. They're on the channel, and please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time with something different.